Welcome to Sports on the Hill podcast. Hashtag DC Sports Without the Politics with Carol and Robbie on True Radio Network. Thank you, gentlemen. Radio Network.
At 99.
That one down the line. Possibilities. See you later. Nelson Cruz was putting on a big-time home run show in BP today. Doesn't always translate. He was hitting them out of every quadrant of this yard. And that was impressive to left with a little hook action on it. It's number 5.
It's like he set him up on this one. Swings through a changeup pitch before. This one a little bit more down and away.
Doesn't it? Soto to right center. See you later.
I thought this would be a good night for him, just based on Mike Minor elevates that fastball. And that's where Juan has been doing a ton of damage on. 110 on this bullet. I mean, this is a line drive, barreled up bullet right here by Juan.
Target in. He turns on it. This one down the line. If it's fair, see you later. Lane Thomas turns and burns, and the Nats are on top 4-2.
He goes off the plate in. This is near his chest. And he keeps this thing fair. He keeps his hands inside the baseball. Nicely done, Lane.
Thomas hits another one well. Deep right center. Hits the top and goes out. See you later. And Lane Thomas, he goes back-to-back with Soto. Then he goes back-to-back at bats. And the Nats lead 6-2.
3-2, four-seam fastball. He stays on it. And he hammers it. 3 straight at-bats for Lane Thomas. Rocket.
2 to Thomas. Oh my, is it fair? It's a towering drive. See you later for a 3rd time in a row.
I mean, this is the pitches that he's hit. The second one was a pitch out over the plate. This one is down and in at the knees. Lane Thomas. I guess staying in your lane right now is hitting 3 homers.
What's going on? Excuse me. What's going on, people? Special Sports OTHP Tuesday episode covering the Nationals and the Mystics, episode 273, part 2. If you tuned in last night, you heard Robbie, Arun, and Brian covering the NBA and NHL playoffs, championships, finals, and NBA finals. So I had to come on and get the Nats talk and the Mystics talk covered because I wasn't able to make the show last night. But as always, we appreciate you guys for tuning in. Currently, I'm only streaming on Facebook and Twitter, trying to figure out what's going on my YouTube feed. So stay tuned on YouTube. I'll post a video a little bit later on. And also, we have a special Thursday night boxing show. We had one a couple of weeks ago before the Gervonta Davis fight. So we're definitely going to be breaking that down and some of the fights this past weekend that I wasn't able to get up on, but we'll be having Paul, the boxing guy, and we actually having another analyst joining us, my man Hokie, who's also a diehard boxing guy. So tune in Thursday night, 9 o'clock. We'll be breaking down the boxing scene. We haven't really covered it as much as we wanted to, so that's why we're making sure we getting back in the swing of things. And all my YouTube folks, I'll make sure I get that taken care of by Thursday. I don't know what's going on, but we're going to get that rectified. But I'm going to just jump on real quick, not going to stay on too long. It's my day off. I got some errands to run. And it's a beautiful day out there, so I'm going to get through this quick Nats recap from the last 2 weeks and break down the Mystics last 2 weeks also and get out of here. So start off with Nats talk. They were off yesterday. They have Three-game series versus is at Miami. That's right, coming up. And then they have Milwaukee coming into town. So we only got 6 games this week. They were off Monday night. But they'll be starting that 3-game series today. The last 2 weeks, can't be mad. They went 500, went 7-7. The week before they went 4-3. Last week they went 3-4. And last 10 games they're 5-5. Currently sitting 21-35, fifth in the NL East. But that's been the story of the season so far. You know, inconsistent pitching, errors in the infield and outfield, inconsistent offense. It's been a number of things, but as I've been trying to explain to some of the Nats fans, you know, they're trying to rebuild the team after they won the Super Bowl. Wow, got football in the brain. I'm watching NFL Network. Yeah, they got to the World Series, you know, traded away some pieces last year, traded away some youth in the organization. So now they're rebuilding, and, you know, you're going to go through, you know, a couple of bad seasons. We remember the 100-loss seasons of the past. But now, you know, after having a success, a lot of fans are upset that, you know, they are where they are right now. But it's a process, and, you know, unfortunately, they don't have the big revenue coming in to sign the big name players. So you saw what they had to do, you know, drafted players, traded for a couple of key players and developed players, and that's what got them to the World Series. So, you know, unfortunately we had to do it a little bit sooner than we wanted. We've had injuries. Remember, Strasburg hasn't even come back yet. They said he had a strong rehab start and he should be on a road trip in Miami, you know, to give a timetable soon of when he'll be returning to action. Unfortunately, it looked like Joe Ross will be shut down again. He's probably won't pitch for the Nationals again. Really like he's going for his second Tommy John surgery in the last 3 years, and his contract is up at the end of the season. So you might say goodbye to Mr. Ross. He's had great potential. He's shown flashes of what he could be, but unfortunately can't stay healthy. He couldn't stay consistent, and like I said, I'm not writing him off, but you know, all the signs are looking to me that he's probably pitched his last game at the Nationals. But let's go ahead and recap the week before. They faced the Dodgers, lost 2 out of 3 to the Dodgers. First game was a 10-1 loss. 10-1 loss, I'm sorry. Tyler Anderson earned the victory. That put him at 5-0. He went 8 innings, given 5 hits, no runs with 8 strikeouts. Joan Adon took the loss. That dropped him to 1-8. He went 4 2/3, given 7 hits, 6 runs, 4 strikeouts, and 4 walks. The second game was a 9-4 loss. Walker Buehler earned the victory for the Dodgers. That put him at 6-1. He went 6 innings, giving up 6 hits, 3 runs, 2 of those earned with 3 strikeouts and 2 walks. Josiah Gray took the loss. That dropped him to 4-4. He only lasted 3 innings, giving up 5 hits, 7 runs, 5 strikeouts, and 3 walks. In the last game of the series, the Nats were actually able to shut out the Dodgers and not get swept. They won the game 1-0. Eric Fetty, one of his best performances of the season. He improved to 3-3. He went 6 innings, giving up 4 hits, no runs, with 6 strikeouts and 1 walk. And Julio Urias took the loss. That dropped him to 3-4. He went 6 innings, giving up 4 hits, 1 run, 3 strikeouts, and 3 walks. And Tanner Rainey earned his 4th save of the season, going 1 inning, giving up 1 hit, no runs, with no strikeouts, with a walk. And after they faced the Dodgers, they had a 4-game set versus Colorado, and they won 3 out of 4 of those games, which definitely helped salvage the week. We gave them that 4-3 week. The first game of the series was a 7-3 win. Patrick Corbin earned his first victory of the season. That put him at 1-7. He went 6 1/3, giving up 7 hits, 3 runs, 3 strikeouts with 2 walks. Jermaine Marquez took the loss. He went 6 innings, giving up 6 hits, 5 runs, 2 strikeouts with 3 walks. Second game of the series, the Nats had an offensive explosion. They ended up winning 13-7. Saramu Ramirez earned his first victory for the Nats. He went 2 innings, giving up 2 hits, no runs, with 1 strikeout and 2 walks. Austin Gomberg took the loss for Colorado. That dropped him to 2-5. He went 1 1/3, giving up 7 hits, 8 runs, 1 strikeout and 3 walks. The third game of the series was a 3-2 loss. Chad Kuhl earned the victory for Colorado. That put him at 4-2. He went 6 1/3, giving up 7 hits, 2 runs, 7 strikeouts, and 1 walk. Kyle Finnegan took the loss. That dropped him to 1-1. He went 1 inning, giving up 3 hits, 1 run, 1 strikeout, and no walks. And Daniel Baird earned the save. For the Rockies. That was his 11th save of the year. And he went 1 inning, giving up no hits, no runs, with 1 strikeout and no walks. And Josiah Gray in the last game of the series lasted 5 innings, giving up 3 hits, 1 run, with 3 strikeouts and 4 walks to help the Nats win the series and that game 6-5. That put Josiah Gray at 5-4. And Kyle Freeland took the loss for Colorado. That drops him to 1-5. He went 5 2/3, giving 7 hits, 5 runs, 2 strikeouts for 4 walks. And Tanner Rainey earned his 5th save of the season, going 1 2/3, giving no hits, no runs, with 3 strikeouts and no walks. So that was definitely a good way to end that week, winning 3 out of 4 against Colorado, who started out hot and it's cooled off a little bit. They were going through some injury issues and everything, and the Nats were able to capitalize and win 3 out of 4. Bear with me on that. Since I'm doing everything myself, trying to share it at least to the show page. All right, boom, got that done. So yeah, that going 4-3 after what was it, 4 consecutive weeks of going 2-4. It was definitely, good to see the Nats actually have a winning record for the first time in a long time for that week. And going into this past week, the week didn't start out too good. They had a 3-game series versus the Mets and a 4-game series versus the Reds. Unfortunately, they got swept by the Mets, who's still in first place. I still can't believe I'm saying that, but yes, the New York Mets are one of the better teams in the MLB. I'm not sure they have the best record, but I know they have one of the best records. They're leading the East. And I believe all the other East teams are still under 500. I haven't had a chance to check the standings today, but yeah, it's still a shock to my system. But they're still the Mets. It's still early. Anything can happen. I'm ready for them to fall off as always, but didn't happen this time. Like I said, they got swept, and they got swept bad. They got shut out twice out of the 3 games. In the first game, they got blown out 13-5. Let's get through this and let's get to the good part of the week with the Reds. And they won 3 out of 4. The first game, like I said, was a 13-5 loss. Colin Holderman earned his second victory. That put him at 2-0 on the year. He went 1 1/3, excuse me, giving up 2 hits, 1 run with 1 strikeout and no walks. Eric Fetty took the loss. He only lasted an inning and a third, excuse me. He went 8 innings, giving up 1 1/3, giving up 8 hits, 6 runs, no strikeouts, and 1 walk. Top of the first, Josh Bell hit a 2-run RBI double, and Lane Thomas had a sacrifice fly, giving Nats a 3-0 lead, but unfortunately, it didn't last. And at the top of the 5th, Hernandez hit a RBI single to account for the Nats runs. Second game was a 10-0 shutout loss. Trevor Williams earned his first victory of the year. That put him at 1-3. He went 5 innings, giving up 3 hits, no runs, with 1 strikeout and 2 walks. Patrick Corbin took the loss. That dropped him to 1-8. He went 4 1/3, giving up 12 hits, 7 runs, 6 strikeouts, and 1 walk. There were no offensive highlights because it was a shutout. And the last game of the series was a 5-0 loss. So they got shut out back-to-back games, which is never a good thing. And especially against the freaking Mets. That sucks. Carlos Carrasco earned his sixth victory of the year. That put him at 6-1. He went 5 innings, giving 4 hits, no runs, 5 strikeouts, and 5 walks. And Evan Lee made his MLB debut. He took the loss. He went 3 2/3, giving 4 hits, 2 runs with 2 strikeouts and 3 walks. And yeah, the Nats weren't nowhere near it in this series at all. I didn't get a chance to watch it closely, but yeah, getting shut out twice. That's when those bats get quiet, and it's never a good thing. Too quiet when you get shut out, especially by a division opponent, somebody you play a lot. So hopefully they can. I think they've only won maybe one game against the Mets all season. I think they've had 2 or 3 series against them. So I think they've won one game in each. I think they got swept against Nottingham. They won one game and got swept in the series before, and just got swept in this one. So folks got to remember when we used to dominate the Mets and make them look foolish. And, now, unfortunately, the shoe is on the other foot right now. So, like I said, it's a rebuilding process. Everything happens for a reason. Give it time. We've seen some improvement, especially offensively. This last series against the Reds. So we've seen some lineup changes. We've seen Soto start to get it going. Lane Thomas had a huge game on the breakdown. If you watch the beginning of the show, you saw the 3 home run game and breakdown against the Reds. And Soto had a nice game toward the end of the series, a 2 home run, 4 RBI game to help them come back. But let me not get ahead of myself. Let me go ahead and break down this 4-game series. The first game was the loss that the Nats took. They lost looking very bad, 8-1. The rookie Graham Ashcraft for the Reds was impressive again, earning his second victory of the year. That puts him at 2-0. He went 7 innings, giving 4 hits, 1 run with 5 strikeouts and 1 walk. And Joan Andon earned his 9th loss of the season. He drops to 1-9. He went 5 1/3, giving up 6 hits, 3 runs, 4 walks, and 4 strikeouts. And Josh Bell hit a solo home run in the top of the 7th to account for the lone run for the Nats. Game 2 was an 8-5 win. It was a home run explosion for the Nats. They hit 5 home runs in that game, and they went almost 10 games, I think, at that point without hitting a home run, I believe they said. And they definitely jumped out there. The Great American Ballpark has always been a home run friendly park out there in Cincinnati. Starting to get a little warm, so that ball travels very well in that humidity out there. Like I said, the Nats hit 5 home runs, and Lane Thomas had 3 of those for his first 3 home run game of his career. I definitely enjoyed watching that game because definitely needed some runs, needed some power, and we got a little bit of both of it in this game. Josiah Gray earned his 6th victory of the year. That put him at 6-4. He went 6 innings, giving up 2 hits, 2 runs. One of those earned with 7 strikeouts and 3 walks. Mike Minor took the loss. That dropped him to 0-1. He went 4 innings, giving up 6 hits, 5 runs, 4 strikeouts, and no walks. Tanner Rainey earned his 6th save of the season, going an inning, giving up no hits, no runs, no strikeouts, and no walks. At the top of the 2nd, Nelson Cruz hit a solo home run. Top of the 3rd, Hernandez hit an RBI single. Lane Thomas hit a 2-run home run, and Juan Soto followed that up with a solo home run, going back-to-back. And the top of the 5th, Lane Thomas hit another solo home run, and the top of the 7th, he hit another solo home run. So it was definitely a very entertaining game to watch. Nats were down. Cruz got the solo home run in the 2nd to get the scoring going, and then next thing you know, Nats were up. Final score 8-5. The 3rd game of the series was a very impressive comeback win for the Nats because they were down early and often, but they found a way to come back in the end and win the game 10-8. Soto, this is the game he had 2 home runs with 4 RBIs. And the team put up 3 runs in the final 2 innings. No, 3 runs in the 9th to secure this victory. They were down and were able to produce some offense and find a way to win it in the end. Kyle Finnegan earned his second win of the season. I put him at 2-1. He went 1 inning, giving him no hits, no runs, and no strikeouts, and with 3 strikeouts and no walks. Hunter Strickland took the loss for the Reds. I put him at 0-2. He went 1 inning, giving him 4 hits, 3 runs, 2 strikeouts, and no walks. And Tanner Rainey earns his 7th save of the season, going on 1 inning, giving him 2 hits, 1 run, 2 strikeouts, and a walk. The top of the 4th, Nats were down 2-0. Juan Soto hit a solo home run to start the score for that inning, and Franco had an RBI single, and Luis Garcia had a sacrifice fly to give the Nats the lead. But then they ended up going down after giving up a grand slam. And at the top of the 7th, Juan Soto hit a 3-run home run, making it a 7-6 game. Top of the 8th, Garcia hit an RBI double, which tied the game up. Which tied the game up. And then at the top of the 9th, Franco had an RBI single, and Garcia had a 2-run RBI single to give the Nats the 10-8 lead, and Nats were able to hold on with Tanner Rainey. He gave up a run, made it 10-8, but ended up locking down the save, and the Nats ended up winning 10-8. Final game of the series, Nats were looking to get a series victory, which they hadn't gotten in a while, and they were able to succeed by doing that, by winning 5-4. Patrick Coleman earned his 2nd victory of the season and puts him at 2-8. He went 6 innings, gave up 9 hits, 3 runs, gave him up early, but then he shut everything down after that for the rest of the 5 innings. 5 out of the 6 innings that he was in, with 5 strikeouts and no walks. Luis Castillo took the loss. That drops him to 2-3. He went 6 in the 3rd, giving up 6 hits, 5 runs, 3 of those earned, with 6 strikeouts and 4 walks. And Steve Cishek earned his 1st save of the season, going 1 inning, giving him no runs with no strikeouts and no walks. Top of the 1st, Josh Bell had a 2-run RBI double. Top of the 4th, Garcia had an RBI single, and Hernandez had a fielder's choice that scored a run. And in the top of the 6th, Michael Franco had a solo home run, and in his 20-game drought of no home runs, so he got on the board. Nats win 5-4, and the game actually ended on a Ruiz pickoff on the first base. Man had got on, looking to try to advance. Him and Josh Bell made eye contact, so he was leaning off a little bit too far. Snap throw, got him. They reviewed it and held up. Game over. Nats win 5-4. Like I said, won 3 out of 4 against the Reds after getting swept by the Mets. So, I said 3-4 week after a 4-3 week, ended up 7-7. Could have been worse. 500 ain't bad. Definitely better than what they've been doing the previous 4 weeks, going 2-4. But as I said, next up, they have a 3-game set in Miami, starting tonight at 6:40. They're all 6:40 starts. Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday in Miami, and then they'll be back home Friday, Saturday, and Sunday to face Milwaukee. Friday is a 7:05 start. Saturday is a 4:05 start. And Sunday is a 1:35 start. So tune in. Hopefully the Nats can Miami's had their number a little bit this year, so hopefully they can get it together and take some of that momentum from Cincinnati into Miami and maybe get 2 out of 3, maybe 3 out of 3, because recall they got swept by the Marlins at home the last time Miami was here, and that was the first time since, I believe, 2011, since the Nats have been swept by Miami at home. And then they have Milwaukee coming in, which is always an interesting matchup. Milwaukee had their way with them out in Milwaukee last time, scoring a lot of runs and putting it on the bullpen. So hopefully the team can get things together and have a better week than they did previously with these last 2 weeks. Let me try to find this graphic real quick. Okay, do that. See, it's kind of crazy when you're doing it all by yourself. That's all I use that right there. All right, let's do that. That's it. Make sure you tune in Thursday night for our boxing show. Make sure you check out the website, sportsothp.com, for all the latest episodes, highlight videos, and everything else we do. Stay tuned, working on some interviews, got some things in the works, but trying to change the graphic on for the folks that's watching live. So bear with me, trying to get this thing together. Right there. Gotta love live. Gotta love live stream. All right, now. We done got through the Nats talk. I guess I'll go ahead and get into the Mystics recap. Before I get out of here, I'm actually going longer than I planned on going, but a lot to cover with the Nats, a lot of, fans interaction I've been talking to and listening to on social media and on radio. A lot of folks are frustrated with the Nats and the way things are, but like I say, 3 years removed from winning the World Series, so I mean, can't be too frustrated. Come on, man. But looking at the Mystics, switching gears, the Mystics are now currently 7-5, sitting in fourth place in the East. Last time we spoke, they were first place and they had dropped to second. But unfortunately, they've dropped to fourth place in the last 10. They've been 5-5. Quick recap of their games going all the way back to the 17th. I don't remember if we covered that back far, but might as well go ahead and take care of it. The 17th was a win at Dallas. The Dallas Wings, they won 84-68. The Mystics were up by 3 at half and pretty much, locked it down in the second half, shut them down. And, Shakira Austin had a career high for the Mystics, 20 points, 8 rebounds, 2 assists, 1 steal, and 2 blocks. And Marina Marbury had 16 points, 5 rebounds, 5 assists, and 2 steals for Dallas. Next up was Friday at the Atlanta Dream. Mystics won that game 78-73. They were tied at the half and down by 4 in the fourth, down by 4 going into the fourth. But they held them to only 15 points in the fourth quarter, and I believe they scored 22. Shakira Austin backed up her career-high performance against Dallas with another solid performance with 10 points, 7 rebounds, 2 assists, 3 steals, and a block. Ryan Howard, not that Ryan Howard, but Ryan Howard for the Atlanta Dream, had 21 points, 3 rebounds, 4 assists, and 3 steals in the game. The Mystics were riding high after that one. But then going into Chicago on that Sunday the 22nd, they took a loss, and it was due to Candace Parker putting up her second career triple-double. They were up by 4 at the half, but got outscored by 10 coming out of the half in the third period. And as I said, Candace Parker was pretty much, handled things from there. She had 16 points, 13 rebounds, and 10 assists. Lena Deladon had 17 points, 7 rebounds, 2 assists, 3 steals, and a block for the Mystics, but it just came up a little bit short with Candace Parker putting up that triple-double. Next game up was Tuesday the 24th versus Atlanta Dream, and the Mystics pretty much dominated them. They were up by 9 at the half. They held them to 8 points in the third quarter and blew the doors off of them, beating by 20, 70-50. Lena Deladon had 15 points, 6 rebounds, no assists, a steal, and 3 blocks. And Christy Wallace had 8 points, 7 rebounds, 2 assists, and 2 steals, and 1 block for Atlanta. Saturday, they ended up traveling to Connecticut to face the Sun, the Connecticut Sun, that is. And they lost that game 79-71. So they were down by 4 at the half and just couldn't get the lead in the second half and couldn't get that stop that they needed. They lost by 8. Alyssa Thomas for the Mystics had 14 points, 10 rebounds with 6 assists. Kennedy Burke for Connecticut had 13 points, 3 rebounds, 1 assist, and 3 steals. Mystics' next game up was on the 31st. They were able to beat the Indiana Fever 87-75. Elizabeth Williams had 10 points, 15 rebounds, and 1 assist. Kelsey Mitchell had 26 points, no rebounds, 4 points, and 1 steal for Indiana. And, Mystics were riding pretty high after that one, and they were headed to New York on Friday the 3rd, and unfortunately they took the loss 74-70. They were down by 2 at half, and this is another game where they just couldn't get that stop that they needed. They pretty much went shot for shot with New York in the second half. They couldn't get that stop that they needed or that big play to get the momentum swinging their way. And they lost that game 74-70. Natasha Cloud had 17 points, 5 rebounds, 8 assists in that game. And Natasha Howard for the Liberty had 17.7 rebounds, 1 assist, 3 steals, and a block. A full box score to help New York earn that victory. And unfortunately, on Sunday, the Mystics took another loss to the Chicago Sky at home. Unfortunately, they're playing better on the road than they have at home. They lost that game 91-82. They were down by 2 at half, but gave up 31 points in the third quarter and only scored 22. And that was the difference in the game in 9 points. Tiana Hawkins, I couldn't read my hand right. Had 21 points, 4 rebounds, 1 assist, and 1 steal. Candace Parker had a double-double with 12 points, 13 rebounds, 6 assists, and 2 steals. And, that pretty much leaves the Mystics sitting at 7-5. Like I said, 4th in the division. They have 3 games this week. They face off against the Chicago Sky on Wednesday at 8 o'clock. They faced Minnesota Lynx on Friday. That's an 8 o'clock start. And Sunday, they faced the Phoenix Mercury, and that's a 6 o'clock start. So hopefully they can get back to their winning ways when they were leading the division in first place. Hopefully we can get Elena Della Don back healthy. She's missed a couple of those games that they just came up a little bit short on. So hopefully, the team can get healthy, get some chemistry. I haven't had a chance to watch them closely. I've been checking in here and there, but really haven't got a chance to watch them closely as I have with the Nats, because trying to figure out that whole situation with the Nats. But you heard me break it down earlier in it, and then you can also tune in to part 2. When Robbie, Brian, and Arun will be breaking down the NBA and NHL playoffs, the NHL conference finals, and the NBA finals. Got to be in the second hour of the show, because I just about went an hour for this segment, which I wasn't planning to do. But as always, appreciate y'all checking us out and tuning in. Like I said, you can check out sportsothp.com for our latest content, apparel line, podcast partners. Just go click the link, you'll find out what we do. Hashtag SportsOTHP, hashtag CP3. Just Google us, it'll come up. We got it all. If you're in the market for a new or used vehicle, hit me up, inbox me on social media. Down in Waldorf Honda, new, used, pre-owned, certified. Come check me out. They said the apparel line I've been running. Hats, t-shirts, backgrounds, everything. Pillows, iPhone covers, anything you want, you got it. Appreciate the support. Appreciate y'all checking us out. Year 7, Season 6, Sports OTHP, True Radio Network, CP3 live from the lab. I'm about to get out of here and do some of the errands I need to run on my day off. As always, I'm going to end the show with a couple of independent videos, because that's what we do. Make sure you turn in Sunday nights at the Bar Radio around 6 o'clock. Took off the last 2 weeks. We'll be back live next week with a special in-studio guest teaching firearm safety. We were speaking about the mass shooting tragedies that's been going on, and trying to talk about firearm protection and safety and everything. So tune in Sunday at 6 for that. Tune in Thursday at around 9 o'clock for Sports on the Hill podcast boxing special with Paul the Boxing Guy, Hokie, and myself. And be safe, enjoy the beautiful weather, and check you next time. DC Sports about the politics. It's not just a catchphrase. It's not just a motto. It's what we do. CPIII, and I'm out.
Money, money, I love that money.
Lucas.
Money, 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 money. You don't really wanna play. Money, 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 money's what I'm talking about. We don't really know what you been talking about. And you don't really wanna play. You don't know what to say. It's money, 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 money's what I'm talking about. We don't really know what you always been talking about. And I don't wanna be the one who always really talk about. And you don't really wanna play. You don't know what to say. Cause money, 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 money's what I'm talking about. Money, 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 make you shut him mouth. Don't never ever talk about it if you never had the clout. You don't know what to say, stay up out of my way. Cause money, 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 make him shut him mouth. Keep playing with these goonies, boy, I'm gonna have to make the call. Stay in bounds on your pivot, boy, if you gon' ball. Cause a lot of niggas be fake, and you really can't play. Cause we done got it out the mud, nigga, what you talking about? Screaming, oh my God, money got me pride. They living a lie, look into my eyes, they might seem surprised, this is homicide. We just multiply, we been on the rise. If we got some wings, fuck it, we gon' have to fly. Money, 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 money's what I'm talking about. Day in my life, take me a different route. And use all my case, niggas on my face. You can get it erased, what you talking about? Money, 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 money's what I'm talking about. We don't really know what you been talking about. And you don't really wanna play. You don't know what to say. Cause money, 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 money's what I'm talking about. We don't really know what you always been talking about. And I don't wanna be the one who always really talk about. And you don't really wanna play. You don't know what to say. Cause money, 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 money's what I'm talking about. You never crossing these borders. I'm whipping it up, Gordon Ramsay. I swear that I'm cooking these orders. You talk about me, you better just hope that you can just really afford it. I'm ballin', I'm ballin', I'm winning, I'm winning. I'm feeling like Robert Horry. Nigga, I'm scoring. I count in the morning. They talk about me, then I gotta ignore it. My bitches be foreign. So independent, my money be corporate. These raps is boring. You hate me and I'm always gonna adore it. I'm smoking that soaring. She always go ahead and let me explore it. I call her my Dora. You can go and talk about me, I ain't flawless. I go put my all in. If a nigga talk about me, then I'm gone in. You know that I'm gone in. Jump in, take trips, Pompeii. All day, always keep 3 stacks like Andre. I get it, I get it, I get it, I get it, man. And you can never, ever, ever get rid of that. So watch what you say, and watch how you do. If you playing the game, then you play by the rules. Money, 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 money's what I'm talking about. We don't really know what you been talking about. And you don't really wanna play. You don't know what to say. Cause money, 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 money's what I'm talking about. We don't really know what you always been talking about. And I don't wanna be the one who always really talk about. And you don't really wanna play. You don't know what to say. Cause money, 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 money's what I'm talking about.
Yo, M20, where you at? Run that up, Rico.
Tell them I'm back now. I never back down. My team strapped down. Let it go back down. Down. Man down, that's on 911. Nigga, I never back down. No, I won't run, nigga. Chasing money till my pockets big pun, nigga. Terrorists, why you fucking with the wrong ones, nigga? Don't back down. Jesus, send you to Jesus, right to the casket. My phone the meanest, that's where the heat is. Get off my penis unless you a genius. Shit, I need this. Back down never. Who is better? Birds of a feather. Niggas all the same, they don't know better. Man, I've been the king since a nigga Chris Webber. Man down, let it go. Better stay on your toes. I've been flexing on these hoes. Man down, let it go. I've been grinding, I've been fighting. Got the lightning once the cake, got the ice. The supersizing my meal. Appetizing, oh my god. Running back, I'm a titan, nigga. Ass ball about the kid. A&T is killing this shit. Man, I gotta stay lit. Nigga, extinguish your shit. I got the fire. Make us sing like Mariah. They just birds on the wire. Dirt naps, where's the choir singing? I never back down. My team strapped down. Let it go back down. Man down, that's on 911. Nigga, I never back down. No, I won't run, nigga. Chasing money till my pockets big pun, nigga. Terrorists, why you fucking with the wrong ones, nigga? Don't back down.
I've been dreaming about you all night. Desire in the pain, my body shifting all night. Listen to submissive, baby. Hey. Submissive, baby. Yeah. Submissive, baby. I'm thinking about you, dreaming about you, waking I can find you. All the pieces it take to make a perfect bitch is right in my view. Hey. Is it real right now, girl? Are you really in my world? She gon' take that shit back if she say what she don't mean. She's my helping hand, she gon' try to further me and rub my back at night. She gon' always nurture me. She gon' give me my space, and I gon' think I deal with somebody else. She gon' stay in her place and let me take control like nobody else. She the true definition of a chick that ain't in competition with these other bitches. She gon' grant my wishes, never act malicious as she do the dishes. Yeah. I've been dreaming about you all night. Desire in the pain, my body shifting all night. Listen to submissive, baby. Submissive, baby. Submissive, baby. Listen to submissive, baby. Submissive, baby. Submissive.